Look, I'm really not one for I told you so's, but I was so right, you absolute dick. Sorry, it's been a tiring week. The chapter 249 leaks dropped and I feel genuinely speechless. Actually, that's a lie. I have a lot to say. Lots of useful, interesting, exciting, and, intelligent... Oh, just watch the video, you nerdy fuck. We start with a Yuta flashback. Okay, see you next time, I guess. Nah, it's all good. It wasn't long enough ago to warrant digging his grave just yet. Kenjaku's head is obviously still alive, but he lost control of curse manipulation, so an army of cursed spirits rampage against Yuta and Rika. Fortunately, Rika is enough to put a stop to them. Kenjaku's head then floats up into the air and is seemingly attached to part of the Tengen curse, or maybe it's just a normal curse. I'm really not sure, to be honest. Either way, all of my jokes about Kenny starting the curse rumbling have clearly paid off, because if that isn't a subtle nod, then I don't know what the f*** is. Kenjaku creates the rule we see added in chapter 248, allowing Sukuna control over the merger, and then sends this weird Tengen embryo to Sukuna. Now, a lot of people have been talking about Gege saying Sukuna's gonna eat an important character. Well, believe it or not, I think it's actually already happened, because in chapter 248, Sukuna ate the Tengen embryo without us clocking that it was Tengen. Or maybe you guys did clock and I'm just really slow, but I low-key thought he ate Kogen. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, I really don't know why Sukuna needed to eat it. Like, maybe he's just keeping it safe until he's ready to start the merger, or maybe it's some weird requirement, or maybe I'm just real dumb, so be sure to let me know in the comments below why he did that, because I have no clue. Anyway, Kenjaku says he didn't have as much fun as he wanted to in those 1,000 years, but he is glad that he managed to play with Takaba before dying. Looking back on it, Takaba was actually the perfect fight for Kenjaku, and Yuta was the perfect character for finally releasing Suguru Geto's body. I think that whole story is tied up quite nicely, and Kenjaku should stay dead now. We cut back to current events as Yuta prepares to fight Sukuna. Of course, Yuta, being the self-doubting character that he is, blames himself for the Executioner Sword plan failing, thinking he should have been there to see it through, and then he questions if Maki should have gone to kill Kenjaku instead. But he soon accepts that Rika was the only one who could handle all the rampaging cursed spirits as fast as she did. Yuta observes Sukuna and states two things which make me wanna scream at the Sukuna glazers. He says Sukuna's reverse cursed output is starting to recover, and it won't be long until he can use domain expansion again. So there it is. So many people just assumed Sukuna was at peak when he transformed into Heian era Sukuna. I actually made a video called Yuta Could Have Saved Gojo, and since reading this chapter, it has strongly supported one of the hypotheticals that I discussed in that video. The point is, Sukuna's transformation was for physical injuries only. His output did not recover, and his ability to use domain expansion did not recover either. It was purely physical. That's what she said! So my theory about Yuta being able to save Gojo by killing Maharaga before he could show Sukuna the Space Slash really does hold. And believe you me, an amped up Gojo versus domainless Maharaga-less Sukuna is absolutely a win for Gojo. But enough of that for now. If you're still interested, then I'll link the video below, but we're going to continue on with this chapter. Yuta and Rika surround Sukuna, and both close in to attack. Sukuna literally catches Yuta's blade and holds it by covering his hands in tiny blades like a chainsaw, and then Yuta lets go of his katana. Sukuna then punches Rika behind him, and then Yuta punches Sukuna in the stomach mouth, causing a healthy splatter of blood. And this punch may pale in comparison to Gojo's, but there are very few characters that could draw blood from the king with a simple reinforced punch. Hell, piercing blood barely managed to do that. Notice here that Sukuna launches a dismantle net counter at both Yuta and Rika at the same time that they attack him. It's very subtle and I missed it at first, but it actually does happen. You can see incredibly shallow cuts appear on Yuta's face, and the same appear on Rika after Sukuna uses Dismantle. In chapter 246, Kusakabe GPT outright states that it would be impossible to survive a close-range Dismantle with just Cursed Energy Reinforcement. Let that sink in. Kusakabe took deeper cuts in mid-range combat using Simple Domain, which is his specialty, and then Higuruma later used Domain Amplification, which nullifies cursed techniques, and also took deeper cuts than Yuta just did. Both Yuta and Rika literally just took point-blank dismantles to the face, and using nothing more than immense cursed energy for reinforcement, they managed to reduce the damage to unnoticeable scratches. And don't give me the low output excuse, because he had even less output going against Kusakabe and Higuruma earlier on in the day. This is purely a testament to just show how strong Yuta is. Yuta has had enough now, and expands his domain, finally. It's called True Love, or True and Mutual Love, although this is probably still a rough translation at this point. As discussed in the last video I made on this fight, Yuta's secret anti-Sukuna weapon is love. Yuta's leading theme in JJK is love, and I have a really interesting idea about how love is incorporated into his domain, since at the moment it's not very clear how it does. Sukuna instantly activates Hollow Wicker Basket, which uses one of his mouths and two of his arms in order to have the output needed for Hollow Wicker Basket to hold in Yuta's domain. By the way, Hollow Wicker Basket is basically Simple Domain, but before the new Shadow style, so it basically works the same way as a Simple Domain. Yuta grabs one of the many swords and manually attacks Sukuna with Thin Icebreaker, an application of Sky Control which he copied from Euro in the Sendai Colony fight. Yuta then decides Jujutsu Kaisen will end in this domain. Sukuna reveals a damaged and bloody face. And I am again wondering where you lot are who said that Yuta ain't touching Sukuna, because Sukuna looks pretty touched up to me. Sukuna then outright states that Yuta has been cooking. The King of Curses gives another internal monologue informing us on Yuta's curse technique and his domain expansion. He knows from Megami that Yuta has Rika and the copy curse technique. He then acknowledges that he is being forced to keep half of his body busy by using Hollow Wicker Basket, and that Yuta will take advantage of that to manually attack with unlimited copy techniques. So from what I gathered, Yuta can assign the domain a guaranteed hit of one copy technique, and then use the katanas to manually attack with any other copy techniques that he has. It's also pretty obvious that each katana represents a copy technique, meaning he has way more than we thought he did. For some reason, people think the guaranteed hit active at the moment is Angel's Jacob's Ladder technique, and as much as I think that is genuinely a good idea, I see absolutely nothing in the chapter suggesting that's the case. But if I've missed something because I'm being slow again, then please do let me know. Yuji Itadori is then revealed to be inside the domain too. Sukuna says Itadori has strikes that grab the soul, and he also says Itadori could use this ability to tear Megami away from Sukuna, which would be very cool to see. The chapter ends with a panel of all 4 fighters, including Rika. The fact Yuji and Rika are in the domain too also gave me an idea as to how Yuta's domain incorporates love. I reckon Yuta can allow allies into his domain while also having the guaranteed hit effect active. Similar to how Gojo can exempt people from Infinite Void by touching them, but without that condition. It would explain why Itadori can move around in the domain, but Sukuna is still needing to defend himself against the guaranteed hit. And it makes sense because Yuta would need a domain allowing Rika to attack without being affected by the domain. And Yuta's whole thing is about love and protecting his friends, so I think it really works for Yuta and is actually just a really cool idea. Well, Yuta was not folded in one chapter, so hold that f***ers. As much as I genuinely have so much hope right now, I know Sukuna still has a curse technique to reveal, Tengen still has a role to play, and Gojo still has legs to regrow, meaning it's far from over for now. But I loved seeing Yuta and Yuji cook together just like I knew they would, and I can't wait to lose them both next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you very soon for the Season 1 Part 2 kill count video.